All right, guys, I need your guys' help. I need the community. So let's check this out. Chase sent this to me, and let's check out this email. Okay, and this is one of those. If you get a moment, take the time to read the email, and make sure you guys put your comments in because I would love to hear them. Because I'm not going to cover them all, and I'm gonna probably miss some. So let's help this gentleman out. I would love to hear what you guys have to say and read them in the comments. So it's talking about this door. It's their only door. Been in this situation a million times. It seems like obviously they can't have the door stuck down type of deal. So he's nervous about bringing it down. How are you going to measure the spring? I'll give you some tips and tricks of probably what I would do in this situation, and let's get started. I do have a few more pictures, so stay tuned for that. So we can see it looks like it's a jack shaft opener. The opener's on the right side. The picture's a little bit dark. I'm not quite sure on the size if he said that or not. It had something at the bottom there, 16 by 8, but this or 16 by 18. I don't know if that's what this is. It could be. So these are one of those jobs that when I get into, I pull out all the stops. Right, this is when I'm going to take lots of pictures. I'm going to take thickness of door. I'm going to try to find door manufacturer. I'm going to measure everything, right? Is this 16.2, 12.2, all these good things, right? I'm going to do floor to ceiling. I'm going to do track. I'm going to have all this juicy information. And let's see why. Oh, dang, that's a mess. So here we are. One thing to always remember too is don't forget, especially if you're kind of getting your green a little wet behind the ears, measure the shaft. I've had that trick me sometimes. This looks like it's probably a 1-inch shaft. Those are kind of being a thing of the past. Let me know in the comments below. Do you still see 1.25 inch shafts? So make sure you get the shaft dimensions. So the springs here, to be honest, I would probably end up using calipers, and I would mic the gauge on the springs. And then what I might do is I'd try to get an overall a little bit of the spring. And then what I might do is I would take a section of that spring and I might measure, a 6 or 10-inch span, whatever I feel comfortable that the spring is the most relaxed and not all jibbery, jabbery, hippy, hoppy up and down, and count the coils in there, right? And so whatever you got in that span, if you got to count coils over, or you got to kind of figure out, that many coils fit in that little space. That's how you count those coils on there too. Say, okay, within a 10-foot span or 10-inch, not 10-foot, 10-inch, I got this many coils. So, if you count those coils, you can add that, to your dimensions for the length of the spring, because I know this gets to be pretty intense. This is a perfect scenario right here where I would feel a lot more comfortable to have portable torches. I know portable torches get kind of expensive, and to get them filled and all that kind of stuff. I would just feel like if I could recone this thing if I had to. So this might be a job that what I would do possibly would be to order the springs a little bit longer, right? So once you get everything down and maybe on the ground and you actually do the work and you're like, oh, something's not quite right or something's a little off, I would actually just cut the spring off. I cut the 4 inches, 6 inches off that I ordered extra. I just feel way more comfortable. A lot of guys can do this stuff with a grinder, but I can't make the tabs in that without the portable torches. So this might be a job where you'd want that. And this kind of shows it in this picture. Where that tab is right here. I'll try to get the mouse on it right here. That hoop. That's why I like having those portable torches, because I can just do so many things. I can make them on site. You can cut this out of the way. The torches just work good. You got to be careful with that insulation in there. So I've actually purchased a blanket. Normally you can get them from weld shops and stuff like that. A blanket that you might want to put back there to keep this place. I would also highly recommend a universal fire extinguisher. If anybody knows which one you'd recommend, the A, B, or C, or both, or all of them, put that in the comments too, because I would definitely make sure I got a fire extinguisher handy for this job, because this is an older building, and last thing you want is a hot ember to go into that foam or to that insulation and catch this building on fire. And also remember, you're supposed to stick around typically it's 30 minutes or so. You might want to do 30, 45 minutes. It might be something you might even just bring a sandwich, just hang out for a few after you've done some work up there. If you do any grinding or cutting, just to make sure there ain't no smoke rolling out of there, especially if this place is not manned, unless there's somebody that's qualified too that says, hey, this is the calipers I carry. I think I got these years back from my dad for free. I don't change the battery. I'm lazy. I always forget. So you might want to get the ones that are the manual ones instead of having the battery operated ones. Eventually I'm going to get the batteries, but I make do with them for what I have to do. So get a set of calipers, put some calipers on there. You can get the spring, the wire size at least. You should be able to get the inner diameter with a spring gauge from Service Spring or a tape measure and go from there. I love the pictures, and I love these kind of things. So if you guys come across stuff like this, send them to me. Email me at the daveadubson@gmail.com. I typically put it in the descriptions below. So, you know, Chase, I really appreciate this kind of stuff. Like I said, here's another picture from the side. That's a garbled up mess, but I tell you what, if you get yourself a set of portable torches, it's not so bad, but it's an investment. You know, I mean, they can be probably $300 to $600 nowadays for those little portable torches. And the worst part is you just can't go to the Home Depot and buy them and you're ready to go. You got to get the tanks filled, all that good stuff. They're kind of a pain really to deal with. And to wrap up the pictures, just a little side view of the jack shaft. Looks like a LiftMaster garage door opener. So if you guys got any pointers for Chase, I would appreciate it. I'm sure Chase would appreciate it too. Put them in the comments below. What you do, how you measure them. You know, use a ruler stick. Do you do something different? Do you look at the marks on the shaft? How do you take them apart? Do you always do everything with a grinder? Can you make those little hooks without a welder? Or I'm not with a welder, but without torches? You know, let me know your tips and tricks. I'd love to hear them and read them in the comments below. I look forward to reading them. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you keep your fingers because they don't grow back. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.